Welcome back everyone. Another workbook solutions session, test and evaluation section from Morning Star workbook. Julius Caesar Act 3 Scene 1. In today's session I am going to discuss 4 RTC extracts and the questions and answers. Extract number 1, it's there on the screen. Where does this scene take place? This scene, Act 3, Scene 1, takes place in Rome in front of the Capitol. What is Metellus begging for? What is that Metellus is begging for? Metellus Cimber is pleading for his banished brothers Publius Cimber's amnesty. This word is a new term. See, I have mentioned the meaning over here. It's there on the screen. Pleading for amnesty, the repealing of my banished brother. And this is the textual quotation. These are brief answers as per your requirement. Frame your answers. Dear students, always remember these are reference materials. Use this and frame your own answers. The length of the answers is going to vary depending on the question available. It will also depend on your handwriting. My handwriting is different from yours, so study with an open mind. What does Caesar feel about Metellus' way of begging? According to Caesar, Metellus resorts to couchings, lowly courtesies and base spaniel fawning. I have quoted from the text. He calls the words sweet words. He disapproves of Metellus' flattery. Critical comment. Disapproval of Caesar and Metellus' flattery. These are the important words and expressions in this answer. There are 3 subparts over here. I have changed the paragraphs. There are 3 paragraphs. Next question. What is Caesar's attitude towards Metellus? Attitude kaisa hai? Caesar asserts his supremacy and authority over Metellus. The first point is he asserts his supremacy and authority over Metellus. Annoyed. Yes, Caesar is annoyed. Attitude. He insults Metellus. Caesar snaps at him, telling him that he was praying and fawning for Publius. बिल्कुल ही Caesar को ये अच्छा नहीं लगा. Caesar इसीलिए Metellus Cimber को insult करते हैं. He is annoyed and he tells him plainly, clearly that he is praying and fawning for Publius. What evidence do you find for such an attitude in the extract? Evidence, you will have to justify your answer with a textual reference. Caesar insults him. ये जो insult कर रहे हैं Caesar, उसका justification क्या है? Textual reference क्या है? I spurn thee like a cur. Cur का मतलब क्या है? Dog, out of my way. This is really insulting. After this, question 3. Give the meaning of 3 marks. If thou dost bend and pray and fawn for him, I spurn thee like a cur out of my way. So you will have to explain this. Caesar boldly states that if Metellus, thou कौन है यहाँ पे? You. That is, if Metellus begs him and flatters him in Publius's favor, he would kick Metellus like a dog out of his way. He is stubborn while dealing with the conspirators, denying his request. किसी भी हालत पे Caesar जो Metellus Cimber ने जो रिक्वेस्ट लाके Caesar के सामने रखा है उसे वो मानने नहीं वाले हैं, because he is as constant as the pole star. He boasts of his constancy and firmness of mind. After this, what has Caesar? Let me just quickly adjust this. What does Caesar already said about petitions presented to him with utter humility? 3. In response to Artemidorus's petition, Caesar, with utter humility, states, "What concerns me personally should be dealt with last." Another textual reference. Learn these textual quotations for your answers. Metellus' question in the extract serves an important role in the execution of the plan hatched by the conspirators. State how. A 4 marks question. The 5th question is carrying 4 marks. Metellus' question serves an important role in the execution of the plan hatched by the conspirators. Metellus is one of the conspirators. Metellus एक conspirator है and his role, duty क्या है? His role is to act as a distraction. Very, very important, to distract Caesar, to engage Caesar in these matters just before the assassination, to divert Caesar's attention. He draws Caesar's attention towards him. The other conspirators gather around him. और इसी मौके का फायदा उठा के जो other conspirators है, they gather around Caesar. Caesar is so taken aback when everyone urges him to reconsider that he fails to notice the attack that takes his life. Caesar Metellus Cimber के साथ बात करने में ही व्यस्त हो गए थे and he failed to notice how the conspirators were gathering around him. The question exposes Caesar's vanity, and this shows Caesar's vanity. Caesar was boastful, he was overconfident, and he completely ignored, neglected. He did not pay attention. Rather, he did not pay attention to the scheme of the conspirators. Extract number 2. What reason had been given earlier to explain Antony's absence? Antony fled to his house amazed after the assassination of Julius Caesar. इसी वजह से Antony वहां से absent थे. He was baffled and he ran away to his house. Why was the servant sent? The servant was sent to deliver Antony's message to Brutus. Antony wanted to convey his love and respect for Brutus and also requested him to allow to meet him in Rome safely and explain to him how Caesar deserved to be killed. Again, 2 paragraphs, 2 subparts. Give examples from the play to illustrate 3 qualities of Brutus that Antony speaks of. Give 1 example of each, 3 marks. According to Antony, Brutus is noble. The first quality, this was the noblest Roman of them all. Here, in the question we have from the play. Therefore, I have quoted from Act 5, Scene 5. Gradually, when you will study Act 5, Scene 5, when you will go to revise Act 5, Scene 5, you will get this quotation. This was the noblest Roman of them all. Since here it is mentioned from the play, सिर्फ Act 3, Scene 1 से हम quote नहीं करेंगे. पूरा जो rest of the play है, वहां से ही हम quote करेंगे and justify करेंगे. This was the noblest Roman of them all. Next, Antony speaks of Brutus's love for Caesar, his deep bond of friendship with Caesar. For Brutus, as you know, was Caesar's angel. Act 3, Scene 2. Brutus is honorable. Number 3. Brutus is noble, wise, valiant and honest. Honest word का क्या मतलब है? Honorable. Act 3, Scene 1. So, in this way, I have quoted from the text. I have given 1 example of each of the 3 qualities of Brutus. Did Antony really love and honor Brutus? Antony loved and honored Brutus, but not as a conspirator against Caesar. Here his profession of love is not genuine. He is actually flattering Brutus. What does he say later about Brutus in this connection? Antony will not love Caesar dead. So here we have a quotation. Antony will not love Caesar dead so well as Brutus living, if Brutus will allow him to meet Brutus safely and provide him with an explanation for killing Caesar. He will follow the leadership of Brutus with all true faith. Faithfully, he will be a loyal servant of Brutus, a loyal follower of Brutus. Give examples from the play. Again, from the play to prove that Antony feared, honored, loved Caesar. Give one example of each. Antony feared, honored and loved Caesar. The words, when Caesar says do this, it is as good as done already, show Antony's fear for the towering stature of Caesar. The words, O mighty Caesar, dost thou lie so low, reveal that he respected, honored Caesar. And when Antony laments, woe to the hand that shed this costly blood, he speaks out of his love for Caesar. Again, 3 examples, quotations from the text. Antony mentions 4 qualities of Caesar. Again, here we have 4 qualities of Caesar this time. Express briefly how far you agree with each of the 4 marks. According to Antony, Caesar was number 1, mighty, number 2, bold, number 3, royal, and number 4, and loving. A quotation from the text. Now the justification, very briefly. Julius Caesar is a great Roman general and senator. His conquests, glories, triumphs, spoils show his might and courage. So, justification of the first quality, mighty, bold, and the second quality. This is the justification. After this, his royalty is evident from his nobility and honorable stature in Rome. He is generous and not a threat to Rome's safety. His parchment with the seal of Caesar, his will, shows how much he loved the Romans. So, again, very briefly, how far you agree with each of the 4. After this, extract number 3, very quickly. Who is referred to as the master? Mark Antony is referred to as the master. In what way is he wise? Here, Brutus uses the term wise more as a flattering epithet. Wise, valiant, flattering epithet. Still, he has revealed his wisdom in running back to the Senate house. After the assassination of Julius Caesar, Mark Antony wisely वहां से चले गए थे. When informed about Caesar's murder, this shows his wisdom. He acts prudently, wisely in sending his servant. वो खुद नहीं आए. पहले उन्होंने अपना जो servant है उसे भेजा to assess the mood of the conspirators. Again, he chooses Brutus as the weak link and manipulates him through his message. He does not put his life at risk. So, all these things show that Antony is indeed wise, prudent, in fact, shrewd. If he was valiant, why is he not present at this moment of time, at this point of time? What is the meaning of valiant? Courageous, brave. He fled to his house amazed, baffled, and has not returned because he knows that his credit now, that is after Caesar's assassination, stands on such slippery ground. The ruthless assassins will kill him as he is loyal to Caesar. It is not safe for him there. Therefore, वो तो brave है, मगर wisely उन्होंने ये decision लिया है at this point of time. Why has the master sent his servant? Antony has sent his servant to Brutus to deliver a message. He must kneel and fall down and convey to Brutus that Antony loves and honors him for his nobility, wisdom, honor and bravery. What condition has he put forward through the servant to enable him, that is the master, to come to the scene? Brutus must vouchsafe, must promise that Antony may safely come to him and be resolved. Number 1 reason क्या है? Safe entry to the Senate house. And then number 2, explanation. And be resolved how Caesar hath deserved to lie in death. Quotation from the text. The keywords and expressions. These are the two conditions that he has put forward through the servant to enable Antony to return to the scene. What is the meaning and the implication? Meaning भी हमें लिखना है, implication का मतलब क्या है, inner meaning जो है वो भी हमें लिखना है, of he shall be satisfied. The meaning of he shall be satisfied, the word meaning is that Antony will be given an explanation and by Brutus's honor he will leave unharmed. कोई एंटनी को कुछ नहीं करने वाला. एंटनी आएंगे और यहाँ पे उन्हें एक एक्सप्लेनेशन दिया जाएगा. And he shall be satisfied. And what is the implication of this? Inner meaning क्या है? The implication is Brutus has agreed to Antony's conditions, manipulation of Antony, without suspecting his motive. Though Antony is not present, he starts manipulating Brutus through the servant, uses diplomacy and flattery to achieve this. This is the implication. And how ironic is Brutus's statement? Irony क्या है इसमें? How ironic is Brutus's statement, we shall have him well-to friend. The expression well-to friend means as a good friend. There is irony as it shows Brutus's erroneous judgment. He underestimates Antony's power and fails to foresee Antony as being instrumental in their downfall. Each and every word over here is important. Who else is present at this time? Cassius is also present at this time. वहाँ पे how is there disagreement between Brutus and the person present on this decision about the master? Brutus is convinced that Antony shall be a good friend, but Cassius has great fears. He is fearful. He is apprehensive in his mind regarding Antony's intentions. He is suspicious and his misgivings always turn out to be correct. He warns Brutus and disagrees with him. Brutus Antony को विश्वास करते हैं मगर Cassius जो है Antony को suspect कर रहे हैं. And here Cassius does not agree with Brutus. His blind faith, his blind trust in Antony. With reference to the context, how does the master show that he is shrewd and intelligent? Antony's real motive is to put the conspirators off guard and expose their villainy. He shrewdly appeals to Brutus and not to Cassius or others because he knows Brutus's weakness. He wanted to return safely to the Senate house and he has got that opportunity through Brutus. He will now deceive or manipulate the conspirators and reach the common people. The conspirators will not harm him because Brutus has given his word. And this shows the shrewdness and intelligence of Antony. This is the answer. Now very quickly, the last extract. Test and evaluation, extract number 4. In what manner has Antony just spoken to the conspirators? Antony begs, begging, humble, polite. Conspirators to fulfill your pleasure, that is kill him. If they have any serious grudge against him, हाँ मुझे मार दो. Their hands are dark with blood and still reek and smoke, so he is prepared to die at that moment. There by Caesar, cut off by the choice and master spirits of the age. और यहाँ पे flattery भी है. Helplessness. On one hand, he is showing himself to be helpless. On the other hand, he is also flattering. He is begging. He has resorted to flattery. How do you explain his attitude to them at this juncture? He has resorted to flattery. He pretends to be meek, pretentious, pretend कर रहा है Antony, to be meek, submissive, but this is just a ploy, a device to win the confidence of the conspirators. His diplomacy and shrewd statesmanship are evident. Attitude diplomatic है, and he is a politician, a shrewd statesman. Next, I hope you are understanding how to write these answers. What do these statements of Brutus and Cassius reveal about their natures? Brutus is unsuspecting. He is an idealist and he makes serious blunders, and he is touched by Antony's emotional plea. He is an idealist who commits serious blunders while understanding human nature. He tells Antony, beg not your death of us, hence is already manipulated. Cassius, though suspicious, agrees with Brutus, does not go against him, is also manipulated by Antony and includes him in their group. Your vote will be influential in giving offices. Next, what difference of opinion is there between Brutus and Cassius later in this scene? Brutus readily, immediately, कुछ नहीं सोच के Brutus ने Antony को allow कर दिया to speak in the order of his Caesar's funeral. Cassius, on the other hand, this is the difference of opinion, clearly asks Brutus not to consent, agree mat karo. According to Cassius, Brutus is unable to realize how much the people may be moved by his speech. Reaction क्या होने वाला है? What role does Antony play in this scene? Antony's role in Act 3, Scene 1 is counteraction. What was the action? Assassination, the conspiracy hatched by the conspirators. Antony क्या role है यहाँ पे? Counteraction. He pretends a reconciliation with the conspirators and gets a permission to make a speech at Caesar's funeral, and this is a turning point in the plot. This is his role in brief. Explain bleeding business and disposing of new dignities. The expression bleeding business means act of bloodshed. Here, Caesar's assassination, and disposing of new dignities means distribution of new offices and honors. This is the end of all the questions and answers from Act 3, Scene 1. See you very soon with another important session.